Today's lesson is lesson 87, and it is dividing fractions. Now, I will tell you, we are going to look at it the mathematical way today on our video. And then tomorrow we'll look at it with manipulatives, but I will tell you honestly, the manipulatives for some people makes it a little more difficult. So I think it's really important that you learn the straight math on how to do it. And then we'll play a little bit with the math manipulatives so you can see how it works. But basically this is an introduction. We will talk about it quite a bit more in class tomorrow, but I need you to at least have a basic idea of what we're doing. That way when we discuss it tomorrow, you'll be able to be at least close to what you're doing. So let's tackle dividing fractions. Now I will show you one today showing you a picture, just so you can put it in your notes. But again, it's one of those where if every time you had to draw a picture, it would get a little old. So I want you to draw a fairly decent sized circle and divide it in half. So say mom brought home a pizza, and she and dad were going to split half, and you and your sister were going to split half. Well, you would be getting that one half and having to divide it between two people because there's you and your sister. All right, now again, just like we did yesterday, we were dividing by 2. We were 1/2 divided by 2 people. Okay, so that meant we were actually having to turn our 2 into a improper fraction by putting it over 1. Now, to divide a fraction, and I want to have you write this down with me. To divide a fraction, flip the second and I'll show you what that means. Flip the second and multiply. To divide a fraction, flip the second and multiply. Make sure you have that written down in your notes. Now, how that would look here is, I would then say, that's my division problem. To divide a fraction, flip the second. Did you see here how I have 1 over 2 over 1? Well, I'm going to flip it and put the denominator on top, numerator on the bottom. So, to divide a fraction, flip the second, and then multiply. Straight across, 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4. Now here's how that looks on our pizza. This part of the pizza was already gone. Mom and Dad have already eaten that. So you and your sister are splitting this part over here. So you are getting 1/2 of 1/2. Now, 1/2 of 1/2 is 1/4. See, here was the half that you and your sister were going to split, because Mom and Dad already ate their half, and you are getting 1/4. So 1/2 of 1/2 is 1/4. But to divide a fraction, you flip the second and multiply. Now we're going to try a couple just like that. We're not going to worry about the drawing of it. I just want you to remember, to divide a fraction, flip the second and multiply. So let's try a couple the mathematical way, and then again tomorrow in class I'll let you play with the manipulatives a little so you can see the why. So let's draw the problem. 3/4 divided by 1/4. To divide a fraction, you flip the second and multiply. So I keep the first one the same, times 4/1. Multiply across the top, multiply across the bottom. It's an improper fraction. 4 goes into 12 3 times. My answer's 3. Do you see our flip here? We've put the 4 on the top and the 1 on the bottom. That is called finding the reciprocal. We'll talk about that tomorrow, but just so you have it in your head, that flipping means we're finding the reciprocal. So let's try another one. And again, you may not be getting it all, and that's okay, because I just want it to be a little bit familiar when we go to talk about it in class tomorrow. Let's try 1 divided by 1/3. Well, to divide a fraction, you flip the second and multiply. So 1 times 3/1 equals, well, wait a minute, I needed to make that 1 a fraction too. So it would actually be 1/1 times 3/1 equals 3/1, which equals 3. So that's my answer. So you saw right there again where I flipped the second and multiplied. Now here again, it's a little bit easier to see with the drawing on one like this. 1 divided into 3 pieces means I have 1, 2, 3 pieces. So 1 divided by 1/3. So again, that flipping is called the reciprocal, and we'll talk about that and add some information about that in our notes. All I really need you to remember is the statement, and you're going to write it once more at the bottom of your notes. So one more time, go ahead and copy that down into the bottom of your notes. To divide a fraction, you flip the second and multiply. Now again, once more, the flipping the second is called finding the reciprocal. That's the flipping, fancy word for flip. So make sure you have that written again in your notes, and we'll practice and look at it a little bit more tomorrow, as well as looking at a little bit with the pieces, fraction pieces, so you can kind of get a little better of how it works. But I don't want you always to have to draw it out. So that's why I need you to know mathematically this is how we divide a fraction. All right, make sure you got that down at least a little bit, and we will talk about it more tomorrow in class. Have a great night.